I mean, praying to the dead is necromancy. I mean, you need to understand that. I mean, look at when Saul had went to a sorcerer and had him conjure up the spirit of Samuel. I mean, you got to understand you're dealing with necromancy and familiar spirits. You're dealing with demons. You are not dealing with a human spirit. I mean, you got to understand what it is that you're doing. Don't pray to the dead. You know, people are constantly justifying their evil by twisting what's written. I mean, this is what Paul or Peter was getting at, that the people even in Jesus or in Peter's day twisted Paul's writings as they do the rest of the scripture. I mean, that's why the Jews were following around persecuting him, because they thought he was teaching, let us do evil that good may come, or let us continue in sin that grace may abound. And that is not what he is teaching. And he declares that in Romans chapter 6. Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. How shall we who are dead to sin live any longer therein? Because the faith of Jesus Christ, not a Trinity or anything else, is that we believed that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that God raised him from the dead on that third day. And Paul describes that even more from Romans chapter 6, verse 3 and 4 into Colossians chapter 2, verses 11 and 12, when he's talking about water baptism as the circumcision made without hands and putting off the body of sins by the circumcision of Christ, buried with him in baptism. And through faith in the operation of God, wherein we believe God raised Jesus from the dead, we believe he gives life to our mortal bodies and raises us up together with him. That's why in Colossians 3:1 he says, if you be risen with Christ to the right hand of God. He describes it again in Ephesians chapter 4. Don't pray to the dead, because you're praying to demons. You're not praying to the dead. You need to understand that's evil.